In this video, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for making the Audra crochet motif poncho and beach bag. You'll need Beso baby yarn, which is a number 3 DK weight yarn, and you'll also need a G6 or 4mm crochet hook. For the poncho, I used Beso baby yarn in colorway Ecru, and for the bag, I used Beso baby yarn in these 5 colors: blush pink, salmon, turquoise, aquamarine, and splash. As pretty as these motifs are, I do believe that the smaller motif is necessary to create a cohesive fabric. Not only do we need a small motif for the center holes here, but even over here on the edge, in order to turn these into straight edges, we're going to need a variation of the small motif that we put here over here as well. So we're going to do an inner small motif. The small motif will be joined on 4 sides here, and then we'll do an outer small motif. It'll be the same motif, but we'll be joining on 2 sides here and skipping the rest of the final round. So let me show you how to do both of those. We'll start with the one in the center, and they're both started the same way. The first 2 rounds are identical on the small motifs, regardless of where you're joining. It's only that final round that has some slight variation. And so we're going to start by tying our yarn to our crochet hook and making a chain 5, slip stitch to the 5th chain from your hook to form a ring, chain 6, which counts as a double crochet, chain 3, and then we'll work a double crochet in the ring, chain 3, double crochet in the ring, chain 3. And you want to repeat this all the way around until you have 8 chain 3 spaces. At the end of the last repeat, you want to slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 6 at the beginning of the round to join. And this is what your work should look like at the end of round 1. You should have 8 chain 3 spaces. Round 2 begins with slip stitch into the 1st chain 3 space, chain 1, and single crochet in the same space, chain 5, and single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet in the next chain 3 space. And you want to repeat this all the way around. At the end of the last repeat, you want to slip stitch to the 1st single crochet at the beginning of the round to join. If you are doing this all in one color, do not fasten off. If you're changing color, you would want to fasten off at this point. And that's what your work should look like at the end of round 2. Round 3, we're going to begin by joining with a slip stitch into any chain 5 space. Actually, let's go back to our joined motif again real quick so I can show you what we're going to be doing before we begin. So we did our first 2 rounds in color salmon. We're going to switch to color blush pink for our 3rd and final round. And in this round, we have chain 7 spaces all the way around, working chain 7 single crochet in the next chain 5 space, except on 4 places, we add a 2nd chain space and a 2nd single crochet to create corners, and that's a chain 15 join, which is chain 7, slip stitch, chain 7. Also point out that what that gives us is the ability to join in 2 shells on each of the 4 sides, and also to join in 4 corners, which are the places where the motifs are already joined together. So let me show you those positions again on the motif that we haven't joined to. Okay. So we're going to do, when we do the joining round on this motif, we're going to be doing a chain 7 join here, chain 7 join here, chain 15 join here, chain 7 join, chain 7 join, chain 15 join, chain 7 join, chain 7 join, chain 15 join, chain 7 join, chain 7 join, and chain 15 join. Then come back to our motif and fasten off. Okay, so we slip stitch to join in the chain 5 space, chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in that same space. Chain 7 join is chain 3, slip stitch to the next shell on the adjacent motif, chain 3, and that chain 3 slip stitch chain 3 is a chain 7 join. It also counts as a chain 7 space, single crochet in the next chain 5 space, chain 7 join, joining to the next shell on the same motif. Okay, and I'll set my work down now so you can see that we've joined along one side of one motif. We're now ready to do our corner join into this space here that we've already joined 2 motifs, and that's a chain 15 join, which is chain 7, slip stitch into the space where those 2 were already joined together, chain 7, and where we do the chain 15 joins, we single crochet in the same chain 5 space we already single crocheted in. It's the only time we single crochet twice in the same chain. Then a chain 7 join, which is chain 3, slip stitch chain 3 with the next adjacent motif, single crochet in the next chain 5 space, and we'll do that a second time. So chain 3, slip stitch chain 3 counts as a chain 7 join in the next shell on the same adjacent motif, and single crochet in the next chain 5 space. So now I'm going to set my work down again so you can see where we've gone. So we did 2 joins on this side, a corner join here in the join space, then 2 side joins to this motif here, and now we're ready to do our next corner join, which is a chain 15 join. So we'll chain 7, slip stitch, chain 7, and then single crochet in the same chain 5 space. And now we're ready to do 2 chain 7 joins along this side of the next motif, single crochet in the next chain 5 space, and now we're ready to do our next corner join, which is a chain 15 join in this space here, and then we're going to do a 2 join with 2 chain 7 spaces along this side, or chain 7 joins, okay, single crochet in the same chain 5 space as from the beginning of the round. So we now have 2 single crochets there, but we need to do our last stitch, which is our last chain 15 join, chain 7, slip stitch into the joined space, chain 7, and then slip stitch to the first single crochet at the beginning of the round to join. And that's our inner small motif with four-sided joining. I'm going to show you how to do that very same motif, but do it on an outer join, which means it'll be joined on two sides. So I've already worked rounds 1 and 2. Rounds 1 and 2 are identical on the small motif, whether you're doing an inner join or an outer join. The only difference now is that we're joining less of it on this round. If you were doing this all in one color, obviously you wouldn't fasten off your yarn and you would slip stitch into the next chain 5 space. When you're doing a new color, you can slip stitch into any chain 5 space, but it would be the next one if you're doing this all in the same color and not fastening off. Single crochet in the same space. And now I'm going to show you on here what we're doing first before we actually do it. We're going to do, let me see if we can do this side by side. We're going to do this corner join in this motif shell here. Then we're going to do these two side joins here, then this corner join here, these two side joins here, and then a corner join here, and then we'll leave the rest of the round unfinished. So the first corner join is a chain 15 join, which is chain 7. And slip stitch in this shell here. Chain 7. Single crochet in the same chain 5 space. Then we'll do 2 chain 7 joins along here and here. So chain 7 join is chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, and single crochet in the next chain 5 space. Do that one more time. And now it's time for another corner join here. So we'll do a chain 15 join, chain 7, slip stitch to join in the joined chain, chain 7, single crochet in the same chain 5 space. And now we'll do 2 chain 7 joins along these two shells in the next adjacent motif. And then our last corner join in this motif here. Chain 7, slip stitch to join, chain 7, and single crochet in the same chain 5 space. Fasten off. And there we have, oh, get it back to the original position. And there we have the same small motif, but this is how it looks when it's joined in the center on 4 sides and how it looks when it's joined on the sides on 2 sides. So for the rest of the project, whether you have assembled your motifs for the poncho or the bag or both, you're going to work the small motif in between any section that has that hole from 4 motifs joined together and each little scallop nook along the perimeter of the edge of all the motifs. Follow the link in the video description to download the pattern that includes that beautiful crochet poncho and the bonus pattern of the beach bag. And you will also find links for Be So Baby yarn, which is on sale for $3.99. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please feel welcome to leave them for me in the comments. And if you check out the video description, I've provided links for everything we talked about in this video. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you in the next video.